In this video, I'm just gonna break down what my 20 plus years of gaming experience have taught me, and what I think and how games have evolved throughout this time. As in, I'm gonna compare Asian games to European games and what I think are the flaws and the differences and how I feel about that. So let's get into it. The first game I'm gonna talk about is the one in the background right now, which is Berserk. It's based in an anime, European anime series style that was uh, it was adopted by the Asian market much more than over here. And as you can tell, the game is made by, if I'm not mistaken, is a Japanese company. And you know, they're an old company. They're not new. They know how to make games. And also, they're the creators of games, very popular games, like the Dynasty Warriors franchise and Samurai Warriors and all those um, wushu games back then. Um, so they're talking in their language. They're talking in their language, and I'm supposed to read to understand. And now the controls are very, I would say, very familiar feeling, but not in a good way, because they have not evolved. They have not evolved the way you play these games, or make any evolutions of any kind, and how these games feel. It's just more of the same. And for such a good anime and such a good story to be thrown into this type of game, you would think it makes sense. But then you play it and it just lets me down, man. It just lets me down. As in, look at these mindless AI that just stand around and act. Look at their AI. Look at this AI. I could stand here for a while. And it's just for a whole army to be taking one guy. It's so underwhelming. It's so like, this is ridiculous. I'm so overpowered. And I'm just over the whole feeling of games like this that's basically unrealistic. And that's what you'll find with a lot of Asian style games. The unrealisticness goes overboard. It really goes overboard. Like, come on, at least make it somewhat realistic. So you're left with these scenarios that are very hollow. There's nothing going on here. There's nothing really happening unless you make it happen. Very uninteresting what's going on here. It may seem like a lot is going on, but look at where they're throwing arrows. What exactly is going on here? How embarrassing of a game is this? And it's a shame because it's a very amazing license that they have with the Berserk series to let it down, in my opinion. Look at the blood. It looks... That's an embarrassing splash of blood. And it disappears like an arcade. Like a damn arcade game. And that's how what this really makes me feel. Like I'm playing some arcade, some quarter machine. Where I'm just like, oh, let's see how far as I go until that's it. This very old school feeling arcade style. The thing is, even when you look at the graphics, look how bad those graphics look. And you'll find that in a lot of Asian games. You will find that the character models have a lot of detail and the backgrounds are just plain made out of cardboard. The backgrounds are flat, uninspired, emptiness, cardboard feeling. Look at this. There's no texture to this rock. It's just a cardboard painting of a rock. The ground is just everything. Even this wall. Look at how flat and unappealing that animation happened, and the rocks disappear. Why can't the rocks stick around? It's so unrealistic and empty feeling. Look at the horse. The horse is glowing with a halo around it to let me know that I could jump on top of it. The horse animation is very wonky and out of place. It's like I'm gliding on air. How realistic of a horse is this? There's no reason now in this day and age to be making games that feel so 90s. Games that feel so old. Look at that. Like, I played games like this. If this would have been a game back in the 90s, I would have been all over this game. This game would have been the most amazing thing ever created. I would have been completely into it. But with the technology and evolution and everything, the groundbreaking graphics and everything we had, you know, this is what Call of Duty used to be. It used to be just flat arcadey looking. And even Call of Duty evolved to a point where you're like, okay, I gotta give it to them. Yet such an amazing series was let down because this is how Asian games are. Bandai Namco. Now that's a name that everybody should know, especially if you like Asian games, Asian style games. Bandai Namco. Now this is Code Vein. Code Vein, it's a side story of the God Eater series. And in back in the past, I would say this is a very good game. Ridiculousness popping up immediately. Okay, so Code Vein. Post-apocalypse. It's set on the post-apocalypse era, and it's their take on it. It's the Asian take on a post-apocalypse version of the world. Let's see how well, because this is a relatively new game, 2019 for God's sake. Let's see how well their take is on it, because I'm really giving a chance for Asian developers to show off here. I'm really giving them a chance. So let's start a new game. And as soon as you go in, you realize you're an alien. As soon as you go in, what is this? What am I changing here? The background? Why would I want to change the background? So as change pose. So as pose to the side, pose to the back. Could I see the front, please? Okay, the first thing is my head is elongated. I have alien eye features. You know, and people will consider that this is the typical anime look, you know. I'm in a post-apocalypse world. Do I look like I'm dressed for a post-apocalypse world? Does it look like I'm struggling and surviving? Does my clothing tell the story of how hard life is in this world? It looks more like I'm in a fetish fantasy of somebody. It's very fantasy-ish and very cartoony. And this is a relatively well-liked Asian game. So let's see. Load appearance. Let's not do that. Select gender. Basic appearance. Let's go into basic appearance and see the randomize. So the thing about Asian games is that there's a very clear template of characters, and it is basically the animes always have the same problem. Animes always have the same problem where the same few characters are recycled throughout all anime ever. And they all look the same. It's like you're choosing the same actors to do different stories. The template has already been chosen. How many times haven't we seen this face? How many times haven't we seen this face in an anime? You know, it's tiresome. It's nothing new. It's nothing new for the protagonist. The protagonist to have what? Orange hair, yellow hair, yellow, orange, some kind of blondie, some kind of European hair with European blue or green eyes. If they really want to push it into coolness, they're gonna put white hair and maybe yellow eyes. This guy right here is really thinking outside the box for them. Jeez, this is not what I will call a typical anime character. And it's just a tiny detail, the fact that he has a skull in his face, that changes it. Everything else is standard Asian game with ridiculous outfits, ridiculous boots, ridiculous mix of westernized clothing with unrealistic thinness and body types. Like, I can't help but to complain about the same genre not evolving. Not evolving their characters, not evolving the way they see the world in this neo-futuristic ridiculousness. Now, typical Asian game stereotype. Females look like, what could I say, K-pop. Ugh, what happened? The point is, the typical Asian, big boobs, stereotype look. Oh, God forbid they go too young looking, as they usually do, because their culture is completely different. And they go with the whole I look like a slave little girl look, it should be something really concerning and creepy, and it probably is all around the world, except over there. For some reason, over there is really accepted. What is this? Is this an apocalypse outfit? Is this an accurate... What will ever happen to her on a windy day? Is this a proper outfit to go out and survive in the apocalypse wasteland? Is this showing how life is hard and the struggles? Does her outfit really tell the story of the world? Or is some fashionista fetish of dolls? Because that's what they look like. They look like dolls. Do they look like real anything? Real human beings? No. They look like fiction. They look like dolls. Like, let's start it.
That's what you look like.
Yep, that's what I look like.
We can finally meet.
Now we finally meet. Okay. Let's see when the immersion starts. Let's see when eventually it stops looking like a video game and it starts looking like something real. Oh. So, not yet. Now obviously we start the intensive tutorial. The intensive, typical Asian game 2-hour or more long tutorial Now, are we stuck in this tutorial? Do I have an option to skip it? Let me see. Rest at mistletoe. Could I skip the tutorial? Oh my god. Hallelujah. I could skip the tutorial, guys. This is groundbreaking.
But you are different.
This is
The
groundbreaking.
love code you once held was broken and has
10
vanished.
out of 10, you could skip the tutorial
That
on
has
an
left you
Asian
with
game.
infinite possibilities. Since you are the only one who can do this,
Okay, I just
your
want to
blood is
start
the only
the game.
teacher you have.
Could I please start the game? I thought I skipped the tutorial. Wow.
Now, awaken.
Wow. So
and
amazing.
save the world.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna save the world. Expectations are high to begin with. How realistic.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Hello. How are you feeling?
Okay. Lips are moving at least. Look at that. How realistic is that? What is she wearing? What is that? Oh, let's see how immersive the world is. Weird alien looking spikes, some cracks in what I assume are buildings. Okay. I am really out of my face, looks crazy cartoon compared to my outfit. Wow, I only saw
Don't worry.
myself.
It's okay. I don't remember either.
Oh, amazing realistic eyes. Yes, very good looking eyes. It's well, what is she wearing? That's the thing. Look at first example
Over
of
there.
how they do their females. It's like ridiculous. We already have started with the ridiculousness. Ridiculousness first thing. Ridiculousness. We'll see how realistic and immersing the world is. How look? Oh yes, yes. The ground texture so cardboard looking. Look at everything. The background is so flat and straight lined. Is this detailed? Does this look any type of amazing? Look at how that building is broke over there. It looks like a game. If it wants me to think I'm in a game, I'm really thinking I'm in a game. Not only that, the fact that the background, the world behind me, compared to me is so I'm so out of place. It's like I'm not even part of this world. That's it? I'm still not playing. Oh my god. And I skipped the tutorial. Let me just tell you that I skipped the tutorial. Am I playing? No. Am I playing? Yes, I'm playing. Wow. There's nothing more immersive than walking into a character in a cardboard box. Where's the details? Oh, see, the details are hidden behind all the smog of smoke over there. Another example of how do I fit it? How do I fit in? How do I fit in this scene? Look at my pink hair and blushy aquamarine outfit. Is this scene selling you the world? Is it telling you a story? Is it really? This is telling you a story. These are the details of telling you a story. He's hunched back there. This guy is just there harassing her, obviously, because he's looking straight at her. This is it. And you walk up to them and they have a huge talk.
The view never improves, does it? I came back home after the war against the Queen and found this mist.
Oh.
Getting close to it caused...
Yes, you want to explain the world. This is how you're supposed to learn about the world.
Head back there and put on a purifier mask.
Just point. Why don't you make a trail exactly where I have to go? Like I'm a dummy. Put on a mask. It even glows. All of a sudden I have a mask on. No animation. No animation whatsoever. That ladder looks ridiculously large. Oh my god, I'm telling you. I just can't feel it anymore. Another cut. Oh my god.
Damn it. We're running out of time before the next collection.
Everything's ready.
More
Right.
cutscenes to
I'm on
sell
my
the
way.
world and tell me what's going on and the story.
All dried up, just like the others.
Yeah, all dried up.
Over the
So
top
there's no sense in
sounds and
searching with the miasma
animation.
like this. Let's.
You know how the Power Rangers needed to have dramatic movements because you didn't know who was
You know
talking
what these are,
unless
right?
they were moving a lot? That's what's going on right here.
Blood beads, right?
Oh my god, all this just to
Yes,
explain
very
what
good.
this thing is. Oh,
Now I
yes.
want you to search for blood beads in the tunnels ahead
How
of
are
you.
they from this world?
You
They don't
see,
know
it's
anything.
only a short
They
time
need to
before
be-
the collectors
They've
come to
been
take
living
our
in
levy.
this world.
But once they do,
This is not
I'm afraid
immersive.
we won't have any
This
blood
is
beads to give them.
ridiculous.
If we
Look
don't
at his
find
outfit, for
some,
God's sake.
Silva's hounds will strip the shirts right off our backs.
Oh my god,
Well,
please.
that's the long and short of it.
Please, yes.
Why does it have to be us?
More
Don't
explanation.
ask me. The stupid levy system was Silva's idea. If you have a complaint, I suggest you take it up with him.
I can't do it. I just can't do the
You lot go first.
unnecessariness
Get to work.
and unrealistic world. Unrealistic world, unimmersive.
Don't. There's a better time and place.
Look at.
For now,
why
we just
is-
have to obey.
Next.
Why does he have his jacket on his shoulders instead of actually having it on? What's
Whoa
the
there.
point of that?
You wait here with us.
I'm telling you.
You can have this one
I can't
back
do
when
it.
you
I
return.
just can't do it.
In
I'm not that
exchange
young
for any
kid
blood
that used
beads
to
you
like
find, of
this
course.
and care for this type
Oh,
of
and
game.
I hear the hunter has been showing up around
I
here
just can't do
lately.
it. And this is a
So make
very
sure you
well
don't all
known.
get killed.
This is a very well known game. Namco, come on. You know they many years under their belt for
You heard
making
him.
games,
Move
and
it.
it still feel like this
Ouch.
is a game. I'll tell you the
Are
problems.
you okay?
I'll tell you the problems. I feel like
It
this
looks
is
like
a
we
game.
can't get back
That's
up
not
from
good.
here.
I'm not getting
We'll have to look
immersed.
for another way back.
They haven't let me play.
I'm Oliver Collins,
I'm
by the way.
still waiting
Nice to meet
around
you.
to actually play. I'm still waiting around to actually play. You know, that's not helpful either. Oh, finally. And of course, typical Asian game, they're gonna have over-the-top, unrealistic weapons. What is that weapon? And
We're gonna
why?
find a blood
And
bead
they-
bonanza.
And if you ever played God Eater or
That ladder
this,
was
you
down, we could
know.
get up.
You know, the explanation is because they're superhumans and they need to explain it to you. Basically, they know it's ridiculous to carry something like that, so they do this crazy explanation that makes no sense and doesn't immerse you any further. I feel like a video game. Look at this camera. Look at this camera movement. Look at
Dead lost.
look at
I've never
this.
seen one before.
Look
I
at.
say dead, but they're not really dead.
Oh, of course,
It's just
explain
a
that to
dormant
me as
state
well.
before they turn into real monsters.
Yes, explain more. More explaining. I'm
Sometimes it
not.
takes
My
years
brain
for the
is not
transformation to
melted.
start.
My
So
brain is
you
not
can just
melted
leave
at
them.
all.
You have
Just
to use
keep
whatever you can
explaining.
to survive.
Don't shut up. Oh, God forgive you. Shut up. Jeez. Okay, the world. Okay, you could obviously see there's so much detail, isn't there? Besides everything just being crack and dirty looking. You see all the garbage in the floor? Oh, there isn't any. There isn't any garbage or details anywhere. It's just an unappealing, uninspired background. Yes. Oh, some cars that are, and those cars look like the shadow of a car. That could be what? An ambulance? Is it a fire truck? Is it a cargo truck? What kind of car is that? There's no details. It's just a grayish, just a car. Just a car. Has a door, has wheels. It's just a car. Don't worry about details. Move along. Same color as the damn background. Everything is just... I'm telling you.
Did you just see movement?
You see movement? Are you a little too behind? Oh my god, such amazing gameplay. Yes. Oh, and he died in an amazing... Look, he died in amazing... So immersive. This is so immersive. This is exactly what the type of game that I say, yes, of course.
Seriously bad news.
Would it? Would it be seriously bad news? What happens if I fall? These guys, it's just ridiculous. Already I could tell. There's ridiculous, uninspired enemies, ridiculous, uninspired combat with very little animations. Or very ridiculous, over-the-top animations. Like, I would say, oh my god, they put fire. They made fire incredible. It is the most realistic fire I have ever seen. Why does it disappear when I look up? It is the most realistic fire effects I have seen in like Asian game ever. You can't do it. You can't do it. Look at the enemies. Look like they pop out of the background. Like they're not even part of this world. Like, I don't have to keep playing for you to see my point. My point is like, this is the story. What's the story exactly here? Is the environment telling you a story? The story I get is parking lot that got attacked by giant spikes. That's it. That's all the story I'm getting. Parking lot that got attacked by spikes. Is there anything else I should know? No, I don't know, because there's nothing else to say. And look at that chest. It's so out of place, so not immersive, not into the background. It's just obvious. I feel like I'm in a game. I look at this. Is it gonna be ridiculous when I open it?
Is there something good in there?
Oh, it's empty. I just got the indication message that I got an axe, but yet I never saw any axe. I grabbed it or any animation at all. It's just...
Which way do you think is better?
You know, in this day and age, you would think that they are more evolved, that there's more to it, that their gaming and the immersion and the details matter right now. But this is just a hyped up old school game. It's just an old school game. It feels exactly like a game felt back in the past. It's like they have not advanced in any way.
Boxes. You think they're all empty?
So break the boxes because they have stuff. Anything else you want to tell me? I'm telling you, these like oh my goodness. So scary. That was definitely... I'll show you a jump scare that's a jump scare. And I'll be like, did it get you? Now I ask you, did that get you? Was that a jump scare? In this immersive 2019 game with a big budget and a big studio and everything? Was that super immersive and super entertaining? Is the world being sold to me? Is this it? Is this all it takes? Big boobs and pink hair for you to be sold into? Look how janky the animations are. Look how janky my character is when she moves. This is ridiculous. This is what this is. Ridiculous dressing, ridiculous acting, ridiculous fighting, ridiculous enemies. And I'm so over it. I just can't play Asian games anymore. And this is exactly an example of how this day and age...
Walk carefully.
Look at this guy. Like exactly how in this day and age, Asian games and the way they decide their art.
What's that doing there?
This is a post-apocalypse world. Does this look like a post-apocalypse world? Or just a broken down parking lot attacked by spikes? Where's the story here? What exactly... Do I need to read a whole series of books to know what the hell is going on here? Can they do a good job to begin with? Okay, here we have a perfect example of a small studio And it's not an American studio, it's not a big studio, it's not even a very old studio. This is a studio based on Ukraine. Same geographic in the world, same area. The only thing is that this is up north, and obviously they're Europeans instead of Asians. And such a big difference in delivery. You know, for a small studio, compared to the other studio, has been making games for so long, have so much experience. You know, the intro from the Berserk game showed so much that wasn't in the game. The game and the intro looked nothing alike. It's like the intro, they're promising you a world, and when you actually go in the game, you get a cardboard cutout of the supposed world with fake NPCs. This, what you see is what you get. The intro, it's only an example of what you actually get in the game. And for a small studio, they do so good. What is the difference? Why is this game so new feeling? The styles, because there's so many games, there's so many Asian games that have, there's so many Asian games that have such big budgets, and they end up like that's what. Oh, there's Cold Vein, and then there's the other one that's like Cold Vein that I can't even obligate myself to play either. Look at this world. Look at this world. Look at how realistic and amazing it already looks. And this could easily be compared to Cold Vein, as I was saying. This could easily be compared to Cold Vein. But this is, in my opinion, this is such a better take. Such a better and more realistic take on it. Just let it all take you in, and look at the cars stuck. Look at the cars stuck in the winter wasteland. It's just captivating. It's captivating. You clear your eyes. You clearly have your mask on. Look how many details just in this opening scene. I could easily get distracted here as if it was a movie. As if it was a movie. But I'm actually in the game. This is the game. This is no cutscene. This is no movie. I'm actually already playing. And look how amazing it looks. And look at how detailed. And I know I got a light. There's the light. Look at the flashlight for me to light the world. Look at the details in the world. I could easily play an hour, and by an hour by now, I will be immersed in the world to the point where I forget I'm playing a game. To the point where I forget I'm playing a game, and that's very important. That's very important, especially to me. This is exactly the type of game that I say, hell yeah, I could get into that for a very long while. You know? Look at this. Look at this environment. You could basically taste, oh, spiders, you could taste the grit off the area. And you fall into the mindset of the character. You're already immersed in the scene, because every scene is a scene. Every moment, wherever you're standing, you see no degradation in the background. There's every detail, every single detail is there, from the grit of the walls to the texture of the floor. Everything is set to set you up for whatever's coming next. They set you up really good. It's just amazing. Look at the animation of the reloading. Upgrading. I just upgraded my shotgun right there. Now I have an extended clip. It's just so good. They did such an amazing job. They did the animation. There's actual animation when climbing. They did such an amazing job in realism and immersion. Well, the growling. I hear the growling of the creature. Hold L1. Or am I holding L1 or later? Oh my god, amazing. 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 The fire, this is basically an apocalypse world based in realism. But yet those creatures don't exist. It's real enough. It's real enough to the point where you're like, yeah, it makes sense. You know, this is believable. This is so believable. And even though it's a Ukrainian game, they talk. I don't have to be reading. I could put it as a choice, but I don't have to. I don't have to be reading. I could. Oh my god! As you can tell, it's very immersive. I'm already creeped the hell out. This is a perfect example of how you could take one genre, and just because you make the same thing in different parts of the world, you make the same genre in different parts of the world, and people see the world in completely different ways. They see the world in completely different ways. And can make a completely different art. Because this is truly art. You can make a completely different art style in the same game genre. Where you at? Oh, I can feel it coming. Alright, let's... Did it get you? Were you immersed? Because I sure was. I'm telling you, it's... Oh, snap. I don't want any. Whatever you're selling, whatever you're selling... Oh, why? I have that bad habit of reloading after one shot. Hear a bottle in the distance? Oh, snap. I'm telling you, man. Like, this, to me, is gaming. This, to me, and you will really sell the immersion. You will really sell the immersion for me if I could feel what the character feels. And obviously, I feel what the character feels right here. You really, and that first person view really sells it. That's is really my opinion, to place you in the shoes of the character, to place you in how he sees the world. Oh snap! To let you see the world how he sees it It's really something, man, and it always gets me. It's really, really something special. Oh, of course. As you can see, all my shots give the indication that I'm panicked. It's never good to panic, man. Come on, open that door. I tell you, I already feel it. I'm already set here. Come on. No. Look at how amazing that creature looks. Is that a real creature? No, that's a fictional creature. Yet they could sell it to me like it's real. I could believe this. Everything here is real. As you can see, I could read it in the bottom. Or I could read it in the bottom. Or I could just listen to them because they're talking. And that English is not their primary language, but they went through the trouble of translating it. I just really appreciate that, you know? There's so much I could appreciate.
Come on, Artyom, stay with us.
Look at the immersion. This is just the beginning of the game. Look how amazing. Such a good job.
I got it, open up.
There's not much I could complain about. It's just like, if you don't like how movie cinematic this looks and is, the gameplay and all that, like, just the world alone will sell it to me. In a world, apocalypse world where people live in the sewers, in the metro stations, that's where they live, and they repurpose trains to be their homes. And they show you, this right here shows you the world as you're going. The world is alive. The NPCs are interactable. The world has very detailed. I just ran through there and the world was so detailed for me just running through there. It's like a movie. It's like a movie.
Artyom, are you awake?
This is
It's okay.
exactly,
The
this
doctor
is
said you'll be
exactly how the
fine.
game looks. There's no downgrade in
Are you
graphics.
trying
Once
to
you
kill
start
me with
playing,
worry?
you just never know
What
when
if
you're
next
already
time
in
you
the
don't
game.
return from the surface? There's no one out there, Artyom. No one to find, no one to talk to. If there was, don't
It's
you
like
think
you're-
they'd be here already?
You're playing an
We've talked
interactive
about this
movie
again and again.
instead of some
You
arcade
have to
game
accept it.
where
There's
every single
only us.
character is unique. Look at that. Every little detail has a story. The fact that he has metal feet, prosthetic feet,
If you kill yourself over this silly dream of
has a
yours.
story
Don't
in
you see what
itself.
you're doing to my daughter, your wife?
Dad, please.
The order is short on men after the battle for D6, but you leave. People need you, and you pursue your selfish obsession.
By the way, that's how the game
Now this
started.
shit has to
There
stop.
is no tutorial.
There's only
There is no
Metro.
tutorial.
Nothing
That was it.
else.
They just
And
throw
the
you like,
order is here
of
to
course,
defend
you
it.
have the experience
Because
over
if
the
not
years
us,
already. Of
then
course,
who?
just throw you in. You know what to do. You don't need an
You look fine to me.
extensive,
So,
over-the-top
get ready
tutorial
to
that
go.
takes the
Then
first
we'll
2
discuss your
hours
transfer
of
to
your
Polis.
life, and you just want to get to the game and you're stuck because
need to
most of the
talk.
time in Asian games you're stuck in the tutorial.
I'll
You
get the doctor.
cannot do anything
Artyom,
unless you pass the
please,
tutorial. You're
Promise
just
me
stuck
this was
there
the
in
last
limbo
time. I'll see you
until you
later.
do the tutorial. It's horrible. It's like a nightmare.
Artyom,
But But
We
here,
managed to bring
they
you
just
back from
throw
the
you
brink,
into the
but
action. Oh,
people are
the
giving
game
you their
started. I
blood,
hope
which
you're
could
ready.
save so many wounded, and you keep bringing them
And
back
you just
to
learn
ready.
as you run into the
Don't
situation.
you think that is unfair?
You just learn
Let
as
me
you...
put it this way. I can't promise I'll be able to bring you back next time.
Okay. Oh, what? Oh, right, I'm crouching. Now, do you see a downgrade in the graphics? Maybe a slight, but you could barely tell when the cutscene ended and the game began. It looks so amazing. I see very little, such a little tiny fraction of a downgrade in graphics from cutscenes and this. Look at the world.
Huh? And why not? It's what's kept us alive up to now.
So I exist.
Just try to take better care of yourself, huh?
I
Even if you
exist.
find someone else
The
out there,
difference-
they probably have their own troubles.
The difference with our Asian games that you're kind of like the background and you are separate. You don't exist. You know, and you look around look at the ceiling, how gritty it is. It tells the story that these people are stuck here and they're surviving.
Don't worry. I believe you. Will you take me with you when you find the clean place outside?
Oh my god, it really tells the story. Just looking around, hearing the people's conversation. It's a world that's alive. Like, I could wander around here for who knows how long, just listening to conversations, looking at the details, that every detail tells part of the story of what's going on. Amazing. Amazing. These people live right here in the Metro. I have played all of these Metro games. I played all 3 of them. This is the 3rd one.
Oh, I can't believe my eyes. Artyom, you're alright.
Do you see a difference in graphics?
Artyom,
Do you see a difference?
how are you, friend?
Can you tell when the cutscene ended and the gameplay ended and the cutscene began? You can't. It's just like so good. It's so good. Look at the background. The background is alive. It's not a blur of cardboard like Asian games. It's alive. It's really alive. Every character is alive and they're acting in a normal way that I would understand. They're not acting over the top ridiculous and over the top voices. They're dressed that they actually look like they're surviving in a world, in a post-apocalypse world. You know, their clothing is accurate and realistic. Their clothing is accurate and realistic to me. Everything. It's just so amazing. Now I'm out here in the world again.
And? More of nothing? Artyom, the only thing I can hear is that Geiger counter.
Look at the tank
ticking.
on her back. Look at her gear. It's gritty. The details with the snow. If this was an Asian game, your character would be completely separate from the world behind. It's like the world behind exists as a picture frame, and your character is in another dimension in front of that.
Don't you think I'd also love to live on an ocean beach or in a green forest? But what good are these fantasies in
Look
a
at the
silent
details
world?
on my mask.
Silent,
All the
Artyom?
water
Because
particles.
it's dead.
The water particles. Every single moment of animation is immersive and so good.
We took our time. Time to replace our filters.
Replace our filters. Here we go.
Come
And
on,
I
replace your
I
filter.
took my
Haven't you
mask
spent
off.
enough time in the sick bay?
You see, just they throw you into the fire. Learn it as you go. No one extensive tutorials here. Just learn as you go. If you happen to die, then it's kind of you deserve it. You know,
Father will kill me if he finds out I went
it's
after
so
you.
good.
Twice.
It's so good. This game is one of the games I recommend, and it's a Ukrainian game, a small studio that did this amazing,
all the destruction.
amazing game series. I recommend all three. They're so good. Everything about it is so good.
Imagine how the rest of the world looks.
Imagine how the rest of the world looks. And this game, you get to see. You get to see the rest of the world. You get to explore. It's an amazing adventure. I actually did a series on this while I was playing it.
Look, maybe you should come back to the Order. We'll move to Polis. Dad says he'll arrange a flat for us. Because if not
These
us,
people
then
need
who?
to live in this world and survive. The story is so good. Everything is so good. Like, there's very little I could say, and the only difference is what? That it's a European game? That's all the difference I could see. That's all the difference I could see. How could we be so close to each other and be so different? You know, and it's a real shame. It's a real shame how they haven't evolved. That's how I feel. It's a real shame how they haven't evolved their gameplay, the way they do things. Where they at? These abandoned metro stations.
Again.
Holy shit. Yeah, if I don't do nothing, I will die. Change my filter.
No? Good.
Nope, I'm good. I'm telling you, I'm already ready to keep playing a couple of hours of this. That's how immersed I'm already in. Once I'm in it, I'm in it. And I feel like, oh man, how do I stop myself from keep going? Already I feel like I've taken it too far. I've taken it further than necessary to prove my point. Because look how good this is. I could come over here and grab this little stash. Oh, I'm full. Like, it's so good, man. It's so good. Look at how you say that word, the laminated world. Look at all the details. Like I said, the world tells the story. The world is so important. It's so important to have a detailed world, because the world is half the story of the game, if not even more. You know? And that's the thing that Asian games really don't exceed in. They really let you down in the aspect of the world not feeling alive. And a lot of the NPCs are usually just standing there. And it's something that I'm so tired of, and it's really a shame. You know what, I'm not even gonna go on, because I think my point is proven. Games like this not only are so much better, so much worth your money, so much worth your... Oh! Where? I gotta go in here and get something real quick. See, I'm already... Look at this. You go in here and you find the situation right here that tells a little story on itself. As I was saying, that's it. Oh! Let me help her. I think I have proven my point. It's amazing. Same type of game. Same basic principle. You could either get it right, or you could get it too wrong. I forgot which way I'm going. I think I gotta wait for her so we could help each other up.
Across the railroad. It would save us a detour.
Same basic principle. So right, so wrong. The world is so alive. Alright, let's go. Go.
I got you.
Oh, I could seriously play this.
Something wrong. At least they're far away.
I could seriously play this for a long while. Love it. That's what I gotta say. Love it. Such a good job.
Artyom, are you seeing this? I'm not just imagining things, right?
Oh, I see it. Oh.
A train! A damn train on the surface! Where? Shit, what do we do, Artyom? Should we catch up with it?
Hell yeah.
Look! It's our guys from the Order! Looks like they're chasing that train too. Let's join them! How did
You
you
know
guys
what?
get here? Did you see that thing out there?
We sure did. Come on, get in.
I won't do any more spoilers. We'll leave it at that. My point is proven. So there it is. There's my examples of how it have changed throughout the years and what I think about the difference between Asian games and European games. And hopefully I showed off the examples of why I feel and why I can't play Asian games anymore. I can't play the Japanese games. And even though games like the Yakuza series seem to be amazing, once I played them, they suffer from a lot of the same hiccups. So tired, especially the ridiculousness, the over-the-top ridiculousness, and over-the-top yelling and talking, and I'm just over who I was. I'm over, and I enjoyed it while I was growing up, but I'm so over it, and I feel like my taste has really matured from cheap beer to really refined whiskey, I would say. You know? So if you agree or not, I would like to know your opinion on the comments, you know? To see how many people agree with me. That's just how I feel, and I like to express it and show off to you guys with some examples. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.